Ta-da! Hello, YouTubers. Welcome to PDINA Really Teachable Moments. Now, as you can see, I am in my new studio. I've got more room. I can stretch out. I'm so excited, but it's still hot. I'm in my basement, and yeah, I like it. It's really nice. So thanks for everyone's patience. I know I haven't posted a video. When something's not right, I can't do it. I just can't do it. And so when I came down here to shoot this video, some things weren't right. And I just scratched the whole video that I shot and I didn't even post it. So I'm going to post this one. But yeah, so today I am going to be talking, of course, about Harry and Meghan's little trip over to New York City and discuss some very important things, because this is what gets me going. This is what gets my blood running through my veins, piping ooh, really? You're going to show up to an event that you think you are speaking your greatest truth. You are speaking truth to power. And all at the same time, fraudulent. And in the things that you're saying, just fraudulent. Just a fraud. We're going to talk about it. Let's get into it. I want to thank everyone who participated in the raffle. I made the announcement on my community page. If you haven't seen it, please go there to see the winning tickets. Those that won received an email. And thanks to everyone who participated. I really appreciate your support. So this is what's happened. So we all know that there was this mental health day that Harry and Meghan were attending, and of course it was Mental Health Day anyway, and Catherine and William did their own thing, and they did it the right way. I think it really is the blueprint for how to be a royal, how to do what's right. And it's unfortunate that we here in America, we don't have that example that we can see on a regular basis. What really infuriates me is that we have the bad example here. In my country, we have the bad example of the fraudulence, of the wackadoos, and I'm not happy about that. Catherine and William, they did it right. They show up, they're authentic. They are not trying to promote themselves, but they really are there to do the good work to help young people. They Catherine spoke in Birmingham to mark the World Mental Health Day. And, she stated that she was inspired by the young people. And she also added that we have to be aware of the bigger picture when it comes to mental health. And what I resent about Meghan, and especially, Harry allowing this to be piggybacked off of himself and what he stood for before meeting this woman is that they're making it about themselves and building their brand in America. And they're not making it about the issue that they are trying to bring awareness to. And the words of Catherine just spoke really poignantly to me. Let's take a listen.
It is important, however, to remind ourselves of the big picture as we meet here today. What are we trying to improve by focusing our efforts on mental health?
All the effort put into this stage, being the center on the stage, the color coordination of the chair, the inappropriately overdressed outfit, the flowers. Is this a woman who really is putting mental health first, or is she really putting her branding first? Just how can you show up and say you are for access to better social media for youth, at the same time being the worst example of what you're talking about? For real? But we know this woman finagled her man to sit on the sidelines to make her the attention. I have a problem with someone showing up to make themselves be the center of it all, coordinating her outfit and everything to make it really essentially about her. And the byproduct of all that is, okay, we're going to talk about mental health and social media and how that affects our children of today. That's essentially what she's doing. Okay, she perpetrating, she a fraud. And you know what? I'm going to be that piece of spinach in between that woman's teeth that she's never going to be able to remove until she is being better, until she knows how to get it out. And that's what I'm talking about. How do you get that piece of spinach from in between your teeth out? How do you do it? Because that's what I'm talking about. And until she's able to show up and to do what we all know is the right thing, that spinach ain't moving. That spinach ain't going nowhere, y'all. Speaking of which, when I spoke on the YouTube channel of Royally Us, I spoke about that. If you haven't seen it, please go check out their channel, Royally Us. They invited me to speak on their channel, and I did. And yeah, that's what it is. I'm like that piece of spinach you can't get out your teeth. I can't, no. She ain't gonna be able to remove it. Because she needs to do better. So this is what it is. You gonna show up to something like this. You gonna make it about you when you want yourself to be the center focal point of this important issue. That you yourself need to take your own advice. So let's just point out some things outside of the obvious, and showing up in that caravan like you the president, like you trying to outdo how you came last time. You're trying to come into a space that makes you seem so much more important than you really are. Shows us that you want this to be really your stage. You're not really there to help the people or to put your voice to something important because you want to show up to have the lights and the cameras on you. That's the problem, Meghan Markle. You ain't gonna get over on people that really can see behind the curtain that you trying to put up. And that's the problem that we have here. This woman is a fraud and she's perpetrating. And I'm offended. Personally, I'm offended because I show up in this space already trying to educate and talk to people, young people, especially about the things that we're addressing in this video today. And I'm just so sickened by it all. And that's why I think I just like, oh, I want to talk about this. I got to talk about it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through what they spoke about in this summit. I'm going to go through and talk about the lies, the contradictions, the things that she is saying that really need to be addressed in a very real way. Because if you listen to what she is saying, there is information about what she is doing in her own life in real time, folks. That people need to be like, wow, what you say? No, you didn't. No. She went there. Did she really just say that? That's what people like Carson Daly up there sitting there moderating, talking, and she's making, thanks for having us. Thanks for having us. Thanks for having us. We all know in Hollywood, basically, this woman is trying to get her hands with some A-listers. She's trying to be in those circles with people. People don't want nothing to do with Meghan because they get it. They get it. A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't see what this woman is doing. So let's just break it down and listen to what she is saying to get a clear idea of what's happening.
Thank you for asking and also for being here with us.
Thank you for being here with us. No, you're there with them. Okay? You're moderating Carson Daly. You're not being there with them. Okay, Carson should be saying, thanks for being here with us. Like, he's the one that should be saying that. But you see how she kind of twists and turn it around. And he's like, thanks for being here with us. This is my event. I'm, you know. This woman's got issues. I mean, really? Okay, so let's listen to what she said, okay? Otis, let's listen to what this woman said. Okay, because Otis, he really wants to know. He's curious.
And there's no way to hear that and not try to help these families have their stories be heard. My husband and I often say if there's going to be so much focus on what we're doing, then to try to focus on what we're focusing on, because their stories are what matter.
The reason why, Meghan Markle, there is so much focus on you, is because you are setting the tone for something that you can't even see is complete opposite of what you're talking about. No, the focus is going to be on you trying to tell people that they need to focus on what you're focusing on. Well, excuse me, Meghan Markle, but the things that you're focusing on are you. Okay? You're not focusing on the issue the words coming out your mouth. That's not what you're focusing on you. That's why she showed up in this space looking all, trying to be all purty, half naked, and sitting there trying to make it like this is something that is about her. So people are not going to focus on what you're talking about, Meghan, because we can see you're trying to focus on you and what you can get out of life and your celebrity. Okay, that's the fraudulent behavior that we're seeing right now. Okay, and then she's going to go into some things that is just really the audacity of it all, right?
Because their stories are what matter.
Okay, so the stories of these people are what matter, but there are stories being told in this very moment in time with you and your own family that you don't even address. But yet you want us to believe that you're going to sit there and focus on the stories of these people here gathered here today. You're going to focus on that when in real time, the stories that you are trying to ignore, the stories of your sick father and your siblings that you have ghosted, your whole family, Harry's family, those stories are the ones you are overlooking. So we're meant to believe that you're sitting here focusing on the stories of complete strangers. Strangers on the street you're concerned about. Oh, no, you ain't. No, you ain't. You're a lie, fraud. That's a lie. That's a lie.
And trying to safeguard so many other families from experiencing this level of pain.
Trying to safeguard so many families from this level of pain. If you are so concerned about pain, you address the own pain that you're causing in this very moment. The pain of your sick father. The pain that you're causing across the pond. That is what you would be focused on. So you're lying once again. Everything this woman is saying is a complete fraud and a lie.
So for us, it's just, what is the solution? What can we do behind the scenes? What do we continue to do behind the scenes? How can we work with professionals and experts to really figure out, in knowing this is not going away, how do we make it safer, better, more positive, so that whether someone is losing a child or almost losing a child, those are some of the other stories we've heard.
Okay. What can you do to make it better? What can you do to make it go away for all the parents who have lost a child, who may or going to lose a child because of this social media? Well, you know, Thomas Markle lost a child. You're essentially ghosting your own father, your own family. You're ghosting people in real time. So what is the solution, Meghan? Open up the lines of communication, which they do talk about. But she can't even do that. She can't even do the very basic things that she is mentioning. Communicate. She's choosing not to communicate. So how can you solve a problem, solve an issue that is so important, when you're not even willing to solve your own personal issues, your own personal in-your-face problems? You can't even solve the ones that is right here in your face. So how can you focus on something out there with strangers when there's a problem staring you dead in your face that you can't even focus on? How is that possible? It's not, and it's not going to go away. Like I said, that piece of spinach, it's not going to go away. So is she really concerned about solving these issues and problems that are hurting people? No, she can't be. She can't be, because the problems that are in her own face, she can't even address. So how can she even solve this problem? It's impossible. She can't do it.
Right? That, the young girl's going on looking for healthy recipes, but an algorithm starts giving her nothing but the inspiration and the anorexia, and she's hospitalized as a result of that. There are so many twists and turns that can be avoided. So we're hoping to be part of that solution, all of us together as a community.
all of us together as a community, but in your own community, you don't even want to address the things that are in your own community. See, this is the problem with Meghan, is she has issues in her own circle, her own community. And you can't really help people if you can't help yourself. It's kind of like you have to learn to love yourself before you can love other people. You have to learn to be accepting of who you are as a person and to understand who you are. And then once you're able to love yourself, you can learn to love other people. So this is how we know Meghan is on this stage speaking in such a fraudulent way, because she can't even focus on that symbolic loving of herself. So how can she help other people if she can't even help or address her own issues?
And I think equally, and every country has different guardrails on things like this. We've had insight sessions. We were just in Germany. We had one with parents there. My husband's done them in the UK, and obviously...
Your husband's done them in the UK, where you started. You started this in the UK. You see how she diverted that, where my husband did this in the UK. No, you started this in the UK, the Fab Four. But you see how she manipulates the situation to be about something that her husband did and overlooks that she was a part of that. But she couldn't get along as a team player. She couldn't be second fiddle. She couldn't be the person in the background to help the people. She got to be in the front helping the people because it's about her. Yeah. See, most people are not going to see that or pick up on that. But that little statement right there, that is what it is. And it's almost like fraud alert. Fraud, fraud, fraud. Emergency, emergency, fraud, fraud, fraud. It's like, yeah, sit up, pay attention. Woman, you're lying, you're perpetrating. That's what it is. But you got to be aware and understand what is actually happening in this situation. Yeah.
And the more information we have, the more information gathering we're able to do, the more we can have these high-level conversations and try to move the needle a little bit.
Why don't you try to move the needle in your own life? Move the needle.
It was so heartwarming to see just such beautiful examples of that today. It wouldn't have been possible without the Duke and the Duchess, without Harry and Meghan creating, building this beautiful community. But it's what we need more of today, because there are a lot of people struggling. And I'll tell you, I had the...
And this is the problem, that the Surgeon General gives Meghan this accolade. It couldn't have been possible. Thank you, Meghan, for building this community. But does he even understand the community that Meghan has spit on? Does he really understand the community of fraud that this woman is about in real time as he says that? Does he understand how he is just making this woman's head go bigger and bigger and bigger in this moment? Do you understand how he is validating essentially her wrongdoings by not addressing what she has done to her own community, within her own family, within her husband's family, within those friendships that she has had in her past life? It's like you have to understand who this woman is before you even give her an accolade, before you even give her credit for building something. This is why I say it's so important, because look how it is evolving. Look how it is getting so much bigger now, just in this moment, by this Surgeon General not even understanding the communities that she has torn apart. But yet she's being built up by bringing together a community of strangers that she does not even really care about. We know it. Because to love yourself is to be able to love others. If she cannot bring together communities within her own circle, how can she really, truly bring together community and circles and show love within this space that she is speaking about right now? How is that even possible? It's not. And this is how the fraud, the perpetration of it all continues to build on itself, by not understanding and being educated about who this woman is. Because sitting on that stage and saying to her, within your own life, Meghan, how are you bridging the gap between your relationship with those in your own circle? Because we need to understand how you are doing that before you sit amongst us here as strangers trying to tell us how we're going to bridge bridges and try to help our communities. How are you helping your own community, Meghan? How are you helping your father, who we know in real time is pleading for you to contact him? How can you do this? That's what this Surgeon General should be addressing to Meghan. My opinion of what he should be doing. Because you're not really helping people. You are fueling her narcissism. You are fueling her ego. You are fueling the power that she is trying to get behind to do more damage.
But that's what happens when we're not supporting one another. We're not able to be open with one another, when we're not talking to each other. And so part of this effort.
And we're not talking to each other. Once again, the Surgeon General is talking about when we're not talking to each other. Do you know, Surgeon General, that Meghan's not even talking to those people in her own family, in her own life, and that she's got a bunch of ghosted dead bodies like lying behind her? You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, I can see if you got one or two people like, okay, you ain't talking to them, okay. But if you look behind this woman and the trail of devastation that she has caused, you will know that you're saying something that you should not really be saying in this space and time. Because you're talking about talking to each other, building people up. And let's not even get into the bullies that support Meghan. Let's not even talk about the bullying that is happening within Meghan's own fan base. Let's not talk about the death threats that they have given to Meghan's sister that Meghan has yet to speak out against. Meghan has within her own circle in life devastation of the horrors of social media within the people that she pays, within the people that she supports, that are doing real-time damage and harm to Meghan's own family. And she doesn't say nothing. Oh, we ain't gonna look at that because they don't count. Y'all count because y'all the pretty people. Y'all gonna help build up my brand. Y'all count. I love y'all. I want to help you. Oh, but the people that's sitting right next to you in your own family, the people that's right behind you in the rear view mirror, that you kind of done wrong, you gonna just forget about them, right? You see, that's the problem. That's the problem. We can't sit here and listen and try to learn something from somebody that can't even practice what they preach, folks. Practice what you preach. Practice it. Kind of go into those uncomfortable spaces so that you can do real good and go out and help the people that you say you're trying to help, because it really is important work. It really is. But we cannot have this fraud of a person trying to help us raise awareness about something that she herself can't even do. The atrocities of the bullying behavior that supports this woman and what she does and what she is about is atrocious. It is disgusting. But she has not once spoken out against it. How can you be the voice of this? You can't. Because what she's doing, she's making it about her. This is her branding moment. This is her moment to say, look, I'm pretty. I'm in the middle of the stage. I'm coordinated with my colors, my whites. After Labor Day, which, you know, in fashion, you really shouldn't do. No, you shouldn't do. But she's doing it. But she's doing this because that's what it's about. It's about her moment. It ain't about these people that they're talking to. For the reasons I just stated. I want to leave you with this, folks. I want to leave you with this. Harry and Meghan have these children, they say, that are not old enough yet to really understand the horrors of all this social media stuff right now. But what the children that they say exist are able to see every day is the isolation, the hurt and the harm that Harry and Meghan are creating in real time within their own circle of family. They'll see it eventually. Where's Grandpapa? My grandpa is the king of England. You mean to tell me I ain't seen him? I don't have no pictures with him. I don't have no pictures. Soon the ugly, the nastiness of what Harry and Meghan are doing as parents, mind you, will be seen by these children that they say exist. What kind of community will these children then build online when they are of age? You can't solve this problem, Harry and Meghan, until you solve your own problem at home.